Two companies. Same industry. Same year.
One of them earns 30 cents of profit on every dollar of sales, the other earns 13.
Same shelf. Same shoppers.
Wildly different businesses.
So how do you tell them apart before you put a single dollar in? Let me show you. Most people pick a stock because they like the product.
They drink the soda, so they buy the stock. But liking a product and owning a great business are two completely different things. After 50 years of doing this, I can tell you the pros never look at one company alone.
They always compare.
Side by side.
Number by number. And today I'll give you the exact 5 checks they run using two companies you already know. The fifth one is where almost everyone gets fooled. Here's the first rule, and people break it constantly.
You can only compare two businesses if they're actually similar. Comparing a bank to a software company is useless, different economics, different rules.
So we'll do this right. Today it's Coca-Cola versus PepsiCo. Same aisle. Same customers. Decades of history. A fair fight. Now, a surprise.
In 2023, Coca-Cola brought in about $46 billion in revenue.
PepsiCo? Over $91 billion. Pepsi is twice the size. Why? Because Pepsi isn't just drinks, it owns Frito-Lay, Doritos, Lay's, Quaker. So bigger isn't automatically better. It's just bigger. Which brings us to the number that actually matters. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. The real question isn't how much comes in the door, it's how much stays.
And here the two companies split apart fast.
Coca-Cola keeps roughly 27 cents of operating profit on every dollar. PepsiCo, around 14.
That's not a small gap, that's nearly double.
Why the difference? Selling syrup and concentrate is a fabulous business.
Making and trucking bags of chips is a tougher one. Lower margins, more cost, more competition.
So the smaller company is actually the more profitable one. Sound counterintuitive? Good.
That's the whole point of comparing. Profits mean nothing if debt sinks the ship.
So check 3, how much does each company owe?
A great test here is interest coverage. How many times over can the company pay the interest on its debt from its operating profit? Both Coke and Pepsi are mature, cash-rich businesses that comfortably cover their interest many times over.
Neither is in danger.
But this is exactly where you'd catch a problem in a riskier pair.
Remember Lehman Brothers?
Before it collapsed in 2008, it was leveraged more than 30 to 1.
$30 of bets for every $1 of its own. A quick balance sheet check would have screamed danger. The numbers warned. People ignored them.
Now we go beyond the spreadsheet. Warren Buffett calls it the moat, the durable advantage that keeps competitors out.
And this is why Buffett bought Coca-Cola.
In 1988, he invested about $1 billion. Today that stake is worth over $25 billion.
He didn't buy a soda. He bought a brand sitting in nearly every country on earth, with pricing power that lasts for generations. Pepsi has a moat too. Frito-Lay dominates salty snacks like almost nothing else in retail. So both have moats.
Your job is to ask which one is wider, and which one will still be standing in 20 years. Because the best business in the world is still a bad investment, if you pay the wrong price.
And that's check 5. Here's where smart people lose money. They find the better company, and forget to ask what it costs. Price and value are not the same thing.
A wonderful business at a terrible price is a terrible investment. The tool here is the price-to-earnings ratio, what you pay for each dollar of the company's earnings. If Coke trades at 25 times earnings and Pepsi at 19, you're paying more for Coke.
Maybe it's worth it for that wider moat. Maybe it isn't.
The number alone doesn't decide, but it forces the question.
Graham said it best. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get.
Run all 5 checks together, never just one, and you stop guessing, and start comparing like a professional.
This is educational, by the way, not advice. Always do your own research. So here's the one principle to carry with you. Never judge a company alone, judge it against its rival. Profitability, debt, moat, growth, and price. 5 numbers, side by side. Because a business only looks great or terrible in comparison to something else. The market is a weighing machine in the long run. Your job is simply to read the scale honestly. So tell me in the comments, which company would you rather own for the next 20 years, and why? I read every one. And if these 5 checks gave you a sharper way to look at any stock, hit subscribe. That's the whole mission here, one clear lesson a day. Tomorrow, we're tackling the single ratio that exposes a company hiding its debt. You won't want to miss that one.